So here we have one of our little bandits, small female, 2 years old, and we managed to trap her. Luckily she went inside one of our staff members' cabin and she actually crawled underneath the bed, which is very strange for them to do. But as you can see, there is quite a nasty wound on her tail. I would show it closer, but I don't think many people will want to see that. It does smell very bad as well. A lot of infection. There were some fly eggs and maggots inside as well, because we don't know how long she's had this wound. She should be going to the vet soon. I'm just about to get her ready. She'll get that tail amputated and should be feeling better much soon.
He's attacking the baby. My angle.
So she's all ready. Blankets all tied on. And I've just heard Mark arrive in the backy. So let's get her going, hey? How'd it go?
Pretty good. You recording?
Yeah.
Had it chopped. So she's still actually
Pretty
sedated,
sleepy,
so.
yeah.
But yeah, everything went quite well. It was quite dirty. There's a lot of dead skin, so we just have to be careful. Just watch out for any signs of blackness.
Oh, it's a little turk tail.
Tried to leave as much as possible, but the skin was very necrotic.
Oh. Yeah, it's a little itty bitty turk tail.
Sorry?
Lots of shade on you.
Thanks. And my driving glasses. The blanket nearly disappeared.
I'm sure.
At some point I had to just tie it in.
Good morning. Hi, how'd you feel?
Yeah.
And she's going down again. Oh, good girl.
Do you want to give a microchip?
Yeah, sure. Hey, girl. So she's starting to wake up a little bit after the vets, so I'm just gonna offer her some rehab. See? Yeah. Oh, good girl. You can see her tongue is really peeled. But our vets to give her 100 ml fluid as well as some IV. So there we go. Look at those eyes, aren't they gorgeous?
She's got some cucumber and apples.
So, quick update on our bandit girl. She's healing pretty well from her amputation, but she's having to rest a lot after going through such an operation, and having that tail the way it was, it's taken a lot out of her. So she has been resting a lot. You want a raisin? But she's recovering pretty well. She was eating a lot this morning, not so much this afternoon, but it has been very hot. I'm sure she's just very exhausted at the moment.
So Hadrian, you found the monkey with that had the tail amputated. Actually, what happened? Because it's quite a story.
So I was in my cabin. I was just like, chilling. And the monkey went inside and just reacted as another monkey, like, oh, go away. And no reaction from the monkey. Just went under my bed and lay down here. So I tried to make this monkey react, to make it move, but no, he was just like closing his eyes and going down. So I just called Mark and Jason, and they just come. So we have to put like a crush kit and everything inside the cabin. Luckily, I had my like welding gloves in the cabin to trap her. And then finally trap her. Sadly, we have to grab her by the tail, so that was kind of, imagine, painful. So we put her in the blanket inside the cage and bring to sickbay.
So she must have known that you were a safe place, basically.
Yeah, that
then.
was the thing. She just, very calmly, just not running or checking. She just walked inside and didn't react at me, and just like and she stayed a while. The time like Jason and Mark arrived, like I mean. Everything was, the door was open, the window was open, just like, she was just laying under the bed and resting here.
It's quite amazing then that if we tried and trapped her with a trap cage, she probably wouldn't gone in, but she found the right cabin and then you called for help. So thank you for that, and glad she found your cabin. She's well on the way to recovery, by the way, so she's doing good.
Good news.
We check in with Ulysses and Hercules. Mom seems to be coping well, which is Lucas, the foster mom. And of course this is the Coco enclosure. I think Ulysses is hugging onto Mom. She's a slightly darker one, so you don't see her. While Hercules, of course, he's had his mom for a while, so he's quite content and happy. So all seems to be going very well with these two currently. You can see how Mom sorts her little infants out to make sure she's giving the care to the right one at the right time, and pushing the older one to the side because he can pretty much look after himself at the moment, and the other one needs a little bit more comfort.
So here we have Yellies, dark on Luca's belly.
Just like a typical little boy, you don't like your face being cleaned, and of course he was objecting. They've been given some nice forage, which is some of the natural grasses in the area. A lot of people don't know that monkeys eat a lot of little seeds on the end of grasses. So as the grasses sort of, before they flower, they've all got tiny little seeds on them. And this is quite nutritious for the monkeys, and it's something that they actually enjoy eating. So that's why it's essential that we actually give them some of the fresh grass every now and again. Just to encourage them to forage when they're back outside in their natural areas, and they know what to look for.
So this is Logan, our newest patient in sickbay. He is from Global Troop, which is very close to sickbay. So basically I noticed him a few days ago. He just wasn't quite right. His eyes were very glazed over. He was very lethargic and wobbly. So we pulled him inside the intro cage, but he didn't get much better. He was very difficult to take his meds. He wouldn't come down from the perch. We had to put his meds on a stick, and even then it didn't really work very well. So we trapped him yesterday and brought him into sickbay so he can be closely monitored. As you can see, he's just curling up in a ball. Been trying to get him to eat, and nothing really is working very well. He had a lot of white berries, but everything else he hasn't bothered too much with. Come on. So he is also quite dehydrated, so we're just trying to get him to drink some rehab. He was drinking quite a bit there. Come on. Come on, good boy. No. So when Logan arrived, he was already not very well, on a lot of antibiotics when he was younger, so his digestive system and insides just aren't very good. Hey boy? Which obviously is creating a lot of problems now. He is only 4 years old, but he has quite a few health problems. He did also have a freak accident where it caused him to lose his leg. I don't know if you can see, even just looking in his eyes, there's just not something right there. If only you could tell us what's wrong, bud. So he is getting some special care. He's going to have people monitoring him all day. Hopefully he makes some progress. But let's just see. Hey Logie. So now Logan's starting to come over and drink on his own, which is pretty good. Because hopefully once he gets hydrated again, he'll get some energy, he'll start to eat again, and once that happens, he'll be back to normal.
Logan's been in sick bay for a few days now. He's from the global work and travel troupe, and he came in with chronic diarrhea. He was very lethargic and weak. Laura noticed that he was just off, something not right with him, so he came into sick bay, and we discovered from a fecal sample that he's got quite a lot of parasites, and they look like ascarid worms, and so he's being treated for that in sick bay, and we're glad to say that he is improving. He's been drinking by himself and eating, and he wasn't on the first day at all, so we're hoping he makes a good recovery. Logan, of course, is the one with one leg in global work and travel troupe. Sweet boy. He arrived in a very bad way when he was small. He's now actually 4 years old, even though he's small, but when he was young he was not in a good way and very traumatised 4 years ago. And there he's just drinking some ginger tea, which is just some raw ginger added to some water with a bit of honey and some Himalayan salt for extra minerals, and he's also got some extra potassium in there as he's got diarrhea. He's much more active than he was. And we're just monitoring him closely, keeping him in sick bay. He's due another dewormer as well, an oral one. He's had an injectable, and he's also had some B complex vitamins injections to keep his energy levels up and his body systems. So he's in a small cage for now, so that he's got access to all his food and water and rehydration easily, and so that we can give him any injections if needed, but hopefully he won't be in there too long. He is also on an antibiotic injectable, so he needs to stay in the cage for a week at least, so that we can continue giving that to him. He's not great at taking his oral meds right now. So he's got his food bowls raised, just a little bit higher because he wasn't feeling well, and it's more effort to then have to kind of bend down and get your food, especially if you're wobbly. So he's got his food bowls raised there, and he's got a little perch in the middle. Might not look very exciting, but it is quite a warm day, so we don't want to cover him too much with too many blankets, but we have covered one end so that he can have a bit of privacy from the outside world and any dogs that might be wandering past, or the wild troop. Okay, buddy.
So Logan's starting to get a little bit better. Here he is enjoying some juice. He has a beautiful juice beard. There we go.
But I don't press on it. Yeah. And I think I'm just waiting.
At least let me take a picture of all of you with the monkeys.
Okay.
And I'll give me your phone.
Shame.
Now that one, apparently, this morning I made a terrible error. I touched him on top of the bandage. He almost had a heart attack. You can see that wound is very sore.
Yeah.
Okay. Let me take a picture of all of you guys.
Well, we had a call out for these two little ones that arrived in a bird cage. They were collected from two different places by this lady, and she kindly brought them down for us. We certainly didn't expect them to arrive the way they are. The one little guy's hands are terrible. Somebody had kept him for a little while trying to treat him, but they were worrying about the wound on the one arm, whereas it looks like the other arm's actually broken. So he wasn't using both of his hands. We only sort of discovered this a little bit later on. So he's been through a lot of pain, a lot of a hard time. He's the one at the moment lying on Ellie's lap. So he is going to need to go to the vet as soon as we can, just to see what's actually going on there. As soon as we've checked under the bandage and seeing what's all been happening. So a lot more noticeable in this little clip here. You can see he's not really moving his arms. They're kept on his side. That's what's very, very important when people find little orphans or anything for whatever reason, just to get them to the vet as quickly as possible, to get them a check over and just make sure we're not causing more damage by keeping them. So that is the safest thing to do, because then they can get immediate treatment, and it does make things a lot easier for the little one. They don't suffer so much pain, and it certainly is a more helpful way of doing things. Well, now it's up to Ellie and the rest of the team to work their magic. These little ones are going to get the once over and go through and check, complete health check, just to see how things are and if everything's okay. And then where necessary, they will be taken through to the vets, especially the one with the little arms, because you can see there's definitely a problem there. The arm that's been treated with a saw on seems to be a lot more usable than the one that's not. So we're certainly going to need x-rays on that and see what's happening there. Unfortunately, when it's a little wrist break and things like this, it's a lot harder to fix. You can't actually put splints or anything like that into the little arm. So it might involve a little bit of rest for him. So let's just hope things are going to come right and it's not too serious.
So this little man was left, he was found in a shed, left behind by his troop. And he has an injury to his arm. We're not really sure how or why. And this little girl was being sold at the side of the road for 100 rand, and we don't really know much more than that. So that's how they came to us. They both drank really well in the car, so she's almost had a bottle, he's had a full one, and they both had some rehab. He drinks really well, but she needs a little bit of help to suckle, so yeah. Slept most of the journey, and she eyebrows me a lot, so yeah. The car. I thought you were friends. Come on, guys.
Ellie, tell me their names. Can you remember them?
They've been called Fritz and Aurora. So I just want to check them over quickly and see if there's anything broken, any fleas, anything like that. You see yours? And we have a look under that bandage. You see the other arm. Have a look under this bandage in a minute. He's got some grip though, so that's good. You see the other? We are a bit pale, but he has had a bit to drink on the drive back, so see. Let's see Madam over here. Where did she go?
She's in behind the box.
It's okay. Yeah, that's it. Show more teeth. So here's. And just check your skin down. And to check his tail as well. No. No. Okay. Yeah. Let's see. Okay. And next I need to weigh them. And just check your tail. It's okay.
Watch, look at, I think it's little Aurora pulling faces and that brave little move as she struts past to show, I'm not scared of you.
558. Minus 75. 558 minus 75. He's 483. You write that down. Thank you. Okay. Let's do Aurora next. I know.
Of course, again, it's one of these cases that we're really not too sure of what these little ones have been through and what trauma they've suffered, or how they've lost their mothers in the end of the day. Because as you heard earlier, one was being sold on the side of the road. The one with the injury on its hands was just found inside a shed, which is also kind of strange. Because of the type of wounds they had. It doesn't look like a bite wound or anything like this. It's a very round kind of mark, so it could have been shot in some way and the arm got injured like that, and the other arm injured when it fell out the tree. So the trauma we're not really too sure about. You can see they are definitely scared of people. They're not humanized. They are a little bit worried, especially I think the one that's going to be called Aurora. She's trying to get away all the time.
So I'm just going to do their arrival doses. You know, we have. Okay, well that's way too much. Oh no. Where's the I know, I just need your friend, okay? Okay, well done.
Right.
It's the little subtle things that they do that make you wonder about their little start in life and what they've been through. So just having, I think it's Aurora with a little injured arm, how she goes off on her own, stays by the corner, away from everybody and things like this, in kind of deep thought and just wondering what's happening to her little life. You just never know what's actually going through her mind and what she's really feeling. And this can be a very tough time for these little monkeys, and you know, sometimes they can get so withdrawn and going into a depression. So one has to also be very, very careful of how you react and what you do to them, and things like that. So you can see she's feeling like really, really left out, and she's not really happy with things the way they are at the moment. So hopefully we can start cheering her up and bringing her out of herself, getting that little arm fixed and sorted, and getting her on her way to being a proper little monkey again that can enjoy the trees, enjoy the wild, and be back out there.
Good girl. I'm not saying you want it.
He does.
He's a pro already.
Yeah.
He's still using the injured hand, so that's good. You want one? Might have a little bit.
Come on. Let's have a look. Good boy. Because I would like him to have a look at it as well. Good boy. I know.
An amazing little patient. It's as if she knew that we're trying to help her, not struggling or anything like that, just letting the little arm be dressed and fixed up and things like this, and hopefully it'll give her a little bit of relief with the new medication, a new bandage on, and hopefully it'll start healing pretty quickly.
Sorry, sweetie. Can put this on. Could you hold this down? Okay, that should be fine. Good boy.
Good morning.
Yes, good boy. Perfect, thank you very much. I think he's fine for now.
Going back.
We can go back, we're going back. Let's go back.
So that's Aurora in the front, Art at the back, and Art's obviously finding some solace from Aurora. He's always in a lot of pain at the moment, so he does sometimes move off to himself, and yeah, he's enjoying, I guess, the feel of other monkeys at the moment. That's actually good that he's using his right hand. That is the hand that's quite injured. He's using his leg as well, but he is reaching out with his hand.
Well, meal times are always a good time and also a nice time to assess and see how things are going. We have taken the little one to the vet, and there isn't much we can do. There is a little broken bone just above the wrist, but it is in alignment and it has healed, so it has fused together, so there's nothing much one can do at this point in time. The other little wound is healing nicely and coming on very well, so we're not actually covering it because it help it heal a lot faster. But as you can see, they're both getting on a lot better, loving their food, enjoying sharing, and we've got two little friends there now, and we'll see how we follow their progress along the line.
We've got Fritz and Aurora. About to join Disneyland. That's the end of their 3-day quarantine. Aurora's a bit nervous. So we'll put this down.
Okay.
You want to go? Let's go.
Interested in the babies and in the remnants of food.
Art's like, who's this? Who's in there? Who's in the new box? Pascali.
Lucky cat.
We've got Pascal, Art.
And Tony.
Oh wait, that's Tony, you're right. Keep forgetting Tony's in here. I feel like he's progressed already because he's been here for so long. That's Pascal at the back. Aurora strutting her stuff. Look at Aurora, yeah. Look at that tail. That is a bushy tail. Art's already decided he's got a new cling.
Kleiner. And Tony's
She is
like, "Ooh,
mine.
I can do that better.
Wow.
Just don't suck her ear. The relationship will go south.
So she's quite confident. Walking strong, trying to assert herself. Got a very social group. Fritz is a little bit more nervous, a bit more cautious. He's scared of Floki. It's Uncle Floki. So here we have Art. Quite a distinctive face. Then we've got Pascal. And we've got Tony. And then Olku. Olku, who's about to take a trip to the Sav intro cage to meet Dora briefly through the fence. Hello. And then here we have Fritz. And Aurora. I know, right? That is like a squirrel. It's okay. That's okay. Welcome hugs from Art again.
Action.
So I think Art's found a new girl.
You're in love.
Okay, was last week's.
Flavor of the week. The sister.
This actually might work out quite well.
This is the girlfriend.
Because he might, Art or Ulku might move in the next couple of days, so quite nice for Art to find a new love to cling to. Loki.
Can I go say hello? Hey, careful of his arm. Do you want to say hello, Pascal? Hey?
There's Fritz.
Oh, it's Toby.
The glasses.
So Fritz is quite a distinctive face as well, actually. That I see in the others.
I feel like he's half Dirk, half Kibby.
Yeah, there is a bit of Kenny about him.
Oh, Uncle Floki.
So who have we got as Art? Using the feeding cage. and Ilku. And have they picked the right bottles? Nope. What? Oh, maybe, yes.
I tend to share.
Well done. So they're all drinking fine in here. Okay. Oh, whoops.
Uncle, Art, Floki, and Elise. I think Tony's in there somewhere too. Coming up there. Orko coming in for a selfie. Go back to Art and Elise. So we have all the little babies playing together. Art, far back. Then we have Tony, Orko, and that's Elise running up. Little Pascal playing on his arm with a little toilet roll holder. He was joining them. So right to left we have Tony, Yillies and Pascal. So I've just let them out of their night cages and they've been full of energy. So how about some climbing practice? Pascal in the lead. Good morning, Tony. So Yelise is going to be with us for a little while longer. She should be getting her foster mom, joining Hercules Monday, which is very exciting for the little lady. His first attempt didn't work because of clingy Dirk.
I'd just like to say a very big thank you for all of you out of there, for what you're doing, for helping us, making it possible to rescue these little guys. It certainly wouldn't be possible without your help. Please continue spreading the word, become members, subscribe, click on like, get others to do it. It's all helping our channel grow. It really is helping these monkeys and making people more aware of what's going on, which is really, really important for their survival. So thank you very much for what you're doing. For our volunteers here that are dedicating themselves, working unbelievable hours. Thanks, guys, for what you're doing. You're making the difference and you're helping these little guys have a whole new life. When you see the little start they have and what they end up being, it's just amazing. And that's all the thank you that we need. Thanks, everybody, for being out there. Thank you for your help, and we'll see you next week.